Hey everybody, Covert GG here. I'm back with another Escape from Tarkov video, but first and foremost, let me say thank you for everything you guys have done. And I also want to say happy holidays to everybody. I hope you have a killer New Year's. I've actually been taking time off to hang with my family. I've been posting about what we've been doing on Instagram as well. So if you're not following there, come check us out. Also, I'll be back to streaming here on a regular schedule as well. Don't forget our Twitch channel link is right there. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8:30 a.m. Eastern to about 3:30 p.m. Eastern. I'd love to have you there with us. Also, don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, mash that button. If you enjoy this video at the end, make sure to give us a thumbs up as well. Been trying to pump out as much EFT content as possible. This is a really, really exciting time to be a content creator. BSG is doing a great job of giving us new content at a pretty good pace, and they're changing the meta with new mods, new attachments, new weapons, etc., etc. So it's just a really great time to be an EFT player and to be a content creator. Anyway, so today we're going to be focusing, this is going to be our Market Watch episode 3. I'm going to go over some money-making tips and some tried and true things that we thought maybe had fallen off but have come back. So, and we're also going to be showcasing the Christmas tree and kind of the economic impact that that's had as well. So let's scrub one out, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, so the first thing I wanted to point out was the main menu. So the main menu screen, we know with point 12 changed. I like this. I just wanted to show you. It's a nice little touch. Obviously, this background is for woods, and they put a Battle State Games ornament on here. So I think this is great, really creative, and just a nice little touch. Anyway, so let's jump into the hideout, right? So the first thing I wanted to show you or talk about was the Christmas tree. And so if you go in here, you can take a look at the Christmas tree. But one of the things when you create this Christmas tree is it gives you the option to enable Christmas lights. And if you come in here, you can see you have a bunch of Christmas lights all over the place, right? And so I like that BSG is doing stuff like this. This is a nice little touch. It's a nice detail, just something to keep the game fresh. And again, it's not a huge deal, right? I mean, so when I say it's something to keep the game fresh, you might say, well, come on, like this is irrelevant in terms of the broader scope of the game, right? What is the gameplay loop? But it's just a nice little touch. It shows that they're putting effort into these kinds of events, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come in the future. So let me go ahead and back out. I'm going to turn on the lights here just so that we have a clear view of what's going on in here. So the first thing you might be asking is, okay, well, how do I create my Christmas tree? Well, that's going to require 10,000 rubles. It's going to require 5 of the violet Christmas ornaments, 10 of the silver, and 10 of the red. So let's go in here. Let's take a look at this. So again, in order to construct your Christmas tree, you're going to need 5 of these violet. You're going to need 10 of the red, 10 of the silver. Now, once you construct this, what's going to happen is it's going to open up some crafting options for you. You're going to be able to craft the DTMDR, the 7.62 version, which is a brand new weapon in the game. We're going to be highlighting that in a separate video. You'll be able to construct the 6SH 118 raid backpack. Again, new item. You'll be able to construct the Orsis T5000 sniper rifle and the B&T MP9 submachine gun. And then last but not least, you'll be able to construct a weapons case. Now, you have to take a look at this and you've got to figure out, do you really want these items? You know, is this something that you want to get into? I would recommend that you math all this out. Currently, the violet Christmas ornaments are going anywhere between about 120,000 to 187,000 rubles. The red and the silver are ranging anywhere between about 45 all the way up to 87,000 rubles. So the market is very volatile. There's a lot of demand for these items right now. Everyone's trying to build their Christmas tree. In addition to the fact that you can utilize these items to craft items, right? So there's just a ton of demand for this. It's very, very volatile. The market's been up and down, and so you'll need to check on these things. If you find these in raid, you may want to go ahead and flip them instead and allow the market to stabilize before you start engaging in this stuff, in these crafting options. Now, in addition to what you're seeing, you know, the demand for these items to build a Christmas tree, the demand for these items to craft these, you also have, they've also added the option for the violet Christmas ornament to be a Scav Case run, which is which it probably has something to do with the level of demand for the violet Christmas tree ornament. So the fact that you only needed 5 for that, but then you're using it here, is gonna have an effect. Now, so this is all gonna be subject to your discretion. What is it that you want to try out? You know, what is it that you're willing to risk? Now, I wanted to point out the Scav Case. We've been doing some testing with the Scav Case within our community. I've had some community members that every time they do a Scav Case run, they send me a screenshot of it so that I can collect the data. I've been doing that myself. And so I did some testing on all 4 of the base categories. And what I found is that the 6,000 ruble run is the best option. It's the safest option. Now, we also have some community members that swear by moonshine runs. However, the data shows that there are going to be instances on these moonshine runs where your return is going to be somewhere between 100 and 200,000 rubles. And that seems to be something that will happen to you regularly. However, some of the other runs will just be incredible, right? You'll have some real high quality runs, but there's still risk associated with this. And so generally speaking, the moonshine, you can sell somewhere between 240 and close to 300,000 rubles. So my suggestion is sell your moonshine on the market, take the profit, run a 6K run. So far on the 6K runs, I've seen a range between 10,000 rubles up to 150,000 rubles. So 0 risk up until now with our testing. So you can take a gamble with the moonshine. You could take a gamble with the violet ornament, or you can just go with the one that's consistent, which is the 6K. The 100 and the 70K just have not produced the quality results. 70K was probably the worst producing of all of them. So my suggestion, 6K, that's your go-to on Scav Case runs, and then sell your moonshine. And I think I would suggest selling your violet ornaments, or utilize them for something on your Christmas tree. Now, I did another Market Watch video a while back, and so one of the comments on that video was that it didn't age well. And on the surface, at the time, I thought, well, yeah, after I did the Market Watch video and we talked specifically about mag cases and corrugated hoses, the price did fall on those items. However, we have a community member named Piston Hips, and so him and I have been discussing specifically the mag cases. Corrugated hoses are not worth your time. The juice just isn't worth the squeeze. However, mag cases, I said, after having a discussion with Piston Hips and reading some of those comments, I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to re-review this particular item. And so what I found was, if you were to purchase all 4 of these items on the market, your total cost would be 212,000 rubles. The mag cases are currently going somewhere between 312,000 rubles to about maybe 320,000 rubles. 314,000 rubles is almost an insta sell. And so if you take your total cost here, 212,000, plus the listing fee, if you were to list it at 314,000 rubles, that would be 18,948 rubles in fees. So your total cost to list this item would be 230,948 rubles, and your net profit would be 83,052 rubles. So that's a healthy profit on something that you can flip endlessly. This isn't an item that you have to wait on a trader cooldown, or it's not a barter situation. You could just flip this constantly, and you'll be turning 83,000 rubles. The other thing to point out here is, if you find any of these items in raid, then that's just going to increase your net profit. So while the mag cases are no longer selling between 450 and 500,000 rubles, at 314,000 rubles, it's still a really healthy profit. And so this prompted me to go back and kind of take a look at some of the other things that you can be doing to earn passive income in the hideout. And so this was all covered in a previous Market Watch video, but you still have the option on the 7N39 ammo. This is a great craft option. I actually have some going right now. You can also do the M61 rounds. This is beautiful. And then if you happen to have finished your tank battery quest, you can actually create 5 car batteries. This way you can knock out your car repair quests with therapists. So I had a heck of a time finding car batteries, and this is actually how I finished out that quest. So there's that. And then don't forget about your Bitcoin farm, right? When we're talking about passive income, right now I'm at 22 of 50 graphics cards, and I'm producing a Bitcoin about every hour, right? And so the more you invest into this, the quicker turnaround you're going to get here. And your nutrition unit, which has the sugar craft, right, for 2 candy bars, this is 50K every time. Now you could opt in to use that sugar creation to make moonshine, right? And so moonshine goes for quite a bit as well. So this is something to look into as well. Again, there are still several crafting options here that are money makers. Again, this is passive income. This is only going to help you when you're having a rough day, your raids aren't going well, you've lost a lot of money. You can basically break even, a net neutral, if you are just doing some of these simple steps in your hideout. And so I wanted to point that out, because I think some folks might look at these things and say, well, I'm not making 300,000 rubles on this item anymore. But the truth is, you can still make quite a bit of money to bankroll your raids throughout the week by doing some of these simple things. All right, gang. So I wanted to include this as part of our Market Watch information. So here I'm using the Tarkov toolbox. You can find this at tarkovtools.covertgg.com. And so I wanted to showcase the top 25 market value per sell items. And then I also was going to show you what are the important items and where those items are at currently. Key cards and keys are still dominating in terms of market value. And so this is something to think about. And I think this is part of the reason why you have so many key runners, right? You have so many people that are just trying to rush key spawns, because you can make a filthy amount of money doing this. And so you can see here, just at our top row are basically key items, a LEDX, and a key tool. Key tools have been great. If you find any in the marked room and you don't need them, I personally have been using the Scav Case instead. And I sold all my key tools, and I found that you can turn a nice little profit on those. Obviously, LEDXs are still great. They're going for 1.3 million rubles. And now that BSG has expanded the spawn points for these, you have a much higher likelihood of being able to find these. Now, keep in mind, the Tarkov toolbox also is, this is a great tool. If you haven't used it yet, I would suggest you do so. But something to bear in mind, if you haven't already collected 4 of them, you're going to need 3 of the LEDXs for the private clinic quest with therapists, and you're going to need 1 of them to finish out your hideout med station level 3 upgrade. Okay, obviously I already finished that, but I did want to point that out since we're talking about the LEDX. As we go down here, dog tag cases are selling for quite a bit. The Verdict's programmable processor, 345,000 rubles per sell on the market, and 90K to the vendor. You want to make sure that you are selling this item on the market. You will need 3 of these for a Peacekeeper quest, which is the Lend-Lease Part 2. I actually have this quest active currently, and I need 3 of these. Let's see here. Let's skip down. The VPX flash storage module is selling for 225,000 rubles on the market and 39.3 to the vendor. Again, you want to make sure you're selling these on the market if you're ready to do so. Now, Mechanic has a quest called Import. You need 2 of these to fulfill that. And if you want to get your Intelligence Center level 3 completed, you're going to need an additional 2. So as you can see here, it's indicating 2 of 4, and I need 2, right? So that's important to note. And the rest are going to be keys here. So I'm going to skip over to important items. And so important items are basically designated as items that you need in order to complete a quest, complete a hideout, or for like an important barter, right? And so disposable syringes, dry fuel has high demand right now. Graphics cards are still in really high demand. You can get a total of 279,000 rubles for 1 graphics card on the market. Now, if you notice here, it says 139.5, and that's because that's the value per cell on that item. And but you're also going to need it for Mechanic Farming Part 4, and you're going to need it for your hideout for your Bitcoin farm that we just touched on. Gunpowder Eagle is doing really well. We already touched on the LEDX. Ophthalmoscopes are going for 80K. You also need this for a quest. Pack of sugars at 47K. We were mentioning that. Remember that in the nutrition unit, you can make those. Paracords are going for 199,000 rubles. So that's another really good one. Gold wristwatch, or the wristwatches, the rollers. These are going really well. I just sold some of these earlier today for north of 80K. SAS drives, secure flash drives, 71,000 and 52,000, and that's for 1 cell. So that's a great value if you can find these. So anyway, I wanted to kind of showcase some of these and just so that you can see where the values are at. And so if you run across these and you've already finished some of these quests, you're gonna want to sell these on the market and get top dollar. Sometimes we go onto the market or onto the flea market and we just list at what the sell instant price is. Whereas one of the things we've been focusing on is, well, what is the price that will sell where we can make the most amount of profit and flip it quickly, right? So you put it on the market, you go into your raid, and by the time you come out, it's been sold. And in some cases, you're talking 50,000 more rubles that you can put into your pocket, into your stash, and then turn around and use that for a raid. So I just wanted to showcase this. I wanted to go over what these top items are. This is something that we are updating weekly. And so, well, the prices are updated daily or throughout the day. But the list itself is being updated weekly. So as things become more important, they start to be added to here. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this. All right, guys, those are all the hideout changes, the addition of the Christmas tree. We also went over the tool. If you're not using the Tarkov toolbox, I highly recommend that you give it a go. It has changed the way I play the game. It has changed the way I make money. And as you got to see there's some really cool features. We're also going to be adding in maps and some other bells and whistles as well. I think it's going to be a game changer, even for hardcore players. So make sure to check it out. I'll post the link right here as well so that you can go sign up. You just log in with your Twitch account and you're good to go. Anyway, thank you guys for everything. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll be back with even more content to help everybody out as well. Thanks. Peace.